Hey, what's shaking, Warfighter Nation? Ron here with Warfighter Ranch and Isaiah 6:8. I got this thought running around my head. I got something to say. Recently, Helen and I watched a nationally prominent figure who happens to live local to us offer an open challenge to anyone who wanted to debate his theology. Rarely is this a good idea in this format. I have to tell you that this man's not a chaplain, minister, priest, rabbi, or any other such individual who would typically tend to lead a flock. Does this factor always really matter? No, but I think it's relevant here. First off, let me say, I am merely a child of God living His experience and trying to spare some others from stepping in the same potholes that I encountered. I'm not here to debate anyone. I'm certainly not here to argue with anyone. But I believe we should all strive to learn until the end of our days. There's only one who knows all, and I pray He has the patience for all the questions that I have. Now, the individual in question, I believe with my whole heart that they believe in God. However, in the open debate that ensued, it was more than evident. I'm talking glowing neon sign kind of evident that his theology was flawed and at a very fundamental level. I won't get into specifics here. However, it was as glaring to me as a clear-cut case of stolen valor. Just to give you some perspective, I'm talking as glaring as the 350-pound airborne ranger walking through the mall Black Friday shopping with his sergeant major. Yeah, that obvious. Oh my gosh! Theologians from throughout history and the entire body of Christ have been stumped for over 2 millennia? Wait, what? This guy has it all worked out? We're saved! And you may be asking yourself, even with that example, Ron, how do you really know this? How do I know? I know because it was like looking in a mirror and seeing my own reflection of 15 years ago. And I have to tell you, my beliefs weren't simply flawed. I was ignorant. I was the worst kind of ignorant. The willful kind. That in and of itself stems from pride, which we know is the sin that God hates the most. And as we all know, pride comes before the fall. Always does. And even when being clearly corrected, the individual, who I love as a member of the body of Christ, by the way, wasn't even open-minded, not even close. In fact, they were diametrically opposed to even hear what the other person had to say. What I mean is, beyond interrupting, was the lack of will to even hear the context of the discussion. Like water off a duck's back. Pity. Because the challenger is an ancient biblical language scholar. I know nothing like that would be of interest for most normal people, unless you're an English major nerd like me. I was fascinated. Moving right along. At the end of the day, all we really can do is pray for such people and lovingly walk beside them. Fun fact, no one ever won anyone over to Christ by beating them over the head with their Bible. Pride. It's an ugly thing. I'm not a theology guru or a master linguist in ancient Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic. Who I am is the guy who happens to be a subject matter expert in the story of how Jesus rescued me from very nearly being dead by my own hand, and for countless others throughout my life, both in war and in peace. My name is Ron. You know me. Some better than others. I have nothing new to tell you. I have no elaborate schematic of verbiage with which to speak. My tongue is no different than yours. But the message I carry is timeless, always relevant, never cloaked in religion, and never with an agenda. Well, maybe that last part isn't 100% accurate. As always, our agenda, so to speak, is to offer you a different perspective. Maybe a little spiritual Windex for the lens you're looking through. As an NCO, sometimes you just have to tell people that it's your way or the highway. Truth be told, I was on the highway all right, but I had to flip a U-turn because it was the highway to hell, and I was calling cadence the entire way. So if I'm saying anything here, I guess it's that you should never be too old to learn, nor too prideful to listen. So there's this guy I know. Everybody knows a guy, right? This guy's a community leader, an influencer, Army veteran, husband, father, and grandfather. He's one half of the unstoppable Villa brothers, Abby's former coach, and a man I'm proud to call my brother. Frank Villa is a man who I've come to know, whose family I've come to love, and whose advice I'd come to respect. He once mentioned something in a crowded basketball gym raging with a tsunami of estrogen. He was talking to this young kid, not even one of his own players, about how their pride was limiting their own potential. They were getting in their own way. He simply stated what his daddy had told him. Don't let your pride kill you. That's your headspace and timing for today. You've got your spiritual chow. Pass it on to the next troop. Next mission, time now.